Brenda Tate, how are you, beautiful? What's good in your hood?
What's good in my hood is everything, always. I
I
live
love
in the Hill District, so it's good all the time in the HILL.
I know that's right. And that's my old stomping ground. So I definitely feel that sentiment. So let's talk about the political leadership training program. You all just wrapped your first session. Congratulations. I was there from start to finish. And first things first, for those who are unaware of what the PLT is, why don't you give us the details on what political leadership training program is?
Yes, and I thank you for all your hard work. You were
Mhm.
there from the press conference down to the celebration, the graduation, and this was our first graduation. This was, as Jackie Hill calls it, they were guinea pigs. So, and I think it was such an awesome program
Yeah.
because everybody bought into and shared the values of what this community needs going forward politically. Everyone agreed that there was a system in place years ago where the African American community did what Stacey Abrams did.
Hmm.
When it came to the vote, the politics, there was people knew that they could come to the committee person in our community, and that committee person had a lot of power, and that committee person was there and could deliver 2, 3, 4, 500 votes. So the PLT is trying to regenerate the the whole process and concept around um, revitalizing the African American voting infrastructure in our community.
Hmm.
People have no idea the power that you carry when you decide you want to run for the committee person in your community. What that takes and what does that look like? It looks like here I am all the time doing things in my community. I already call and tell them my street's not clean. I already tell them that there's a light out in my community. So I can put that into action.
Hmm.
I can decide to run for a committee person, which, by the way, in 2022, all the seats are open. Open. Anybody can run in their community, figure out where your ward is in your district, and you go through the process. So if you're the committee person, you start out by knocking on about 100 or 125 doors,
How many is it? However many is in your district,
many in your areas
right? In your area.
and in your ward.
Hmm.
Hi, my name's Brenda Tate. I'm running for committee person. Well, what is that? Most people don't know they're committee people.
Hmm.
Well, do you have issues with the snow removal? Well, yeah. You have issues with dogs in your community? Yeah. Well, I'm going to run and I'm going to make sure you have my contact if I win. And if you help me do that, I'm going to make sure those issues get taken care of.
Hmm.
So I got 100 people saying, okay, we believe you and we trust you. That's 100 votes.
Right.
So the committee, our council person will say, wow, these people are listening to Kiki.
Hmm.
Wonder why? Kiki's out there saving their community. I better talk to Kiki. Kiki, how many people did you talk to that said they want to vote? Oh, about 120. Oh, you're my friend. That's how this works.
Got it. Got
See?
it.
And that's the power you have. And that's what we're trying to teach anyone that wants to run for the committee person in their community. That's
Where did this fail? Like, where did it drop? Because this is the first time I'm hearing about a committee person and the need for a committee person to be in the African American community. I don't hear this in the suburbs or in the non-African or Black community. So what happened for this to take place? And then how do we pick up the momentum to keep it going outside of going to the political leadership training program?
Well, this happens all the time outside of the hood.
Right.
A lot of these surrounding communities, they meet, their committee people meet, they're organized, they get things done because they're organized. Our breakdown came when we decided, and I don't want to bash young people, but you have a whole new demographics in most inner city communities. These people are very disconnected from the political process.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they don't understand the power. That's where we come in.
Mm-hmm.
That they don't know that this committee person that they probably don't know, say this last election, I put on Facebook, I had signs. People wanted yard signs, simple.
Mm-hmm.
I had it on Facebook. That's a committee person's job to connect them with what they need.
Well, why isn't the committee person doing that?
I don't know. That's why we're trying to
Okay.
I even had the committee person come up to me and say, "Can I get a couple of signs?" I'm like, really?
Well, something is not strong in that link here. So,
yes.
Yeah.
And what happens is most committee people have been around for a long time. And God bless them, because it's a thankless job. However, they got information. When we had this class, we passed out a handbook to let people know the rules of this game.
Right.
You have to know the rules if you're going to play.
Right.
So they have a handbook in their hands, and they have to know what the committee does and how far they can go.
Mm-hmm.
They can't go out gathering money and in the name of the Democratic Committee and don't have any proof of where it's going and how it's going to get there, who gets there.
Mm-hmm.
So it has to be organized. So most people that are serving on these positions are up in age because they're the ones that have worked and been there.
Mm-hmm.
And they're up in age, and the information they got has been carried down through the years. My daughter come in, I tell her how I'm doing things. And so it gets lost because if her daughter loses, if she goes away or the senior, God forbid, dies off, then there's nobody to fill those.
Wow.
So you have these vacancies. There's over 100 and some vacancies in our district.
Yeah.
Because at some point, once you become chair, you can appoint people. People don't know that. But the whole process and the thinking today, most committee people show up on election day. Mm-hmm. And they don't show up to help get the thing out or get the word out. They show up because somebody comes in and say, I'll give you so much money if you get the seniors to the poll. See, that's not what a committee person's role should be completely.
Okay.
That person should have a relationship. These people should know Miss So-and-so needs to get to the poll. There's already people out there to get her to a poll. So you need to connect her with that. Committee persons need to hold meeting. Show Miss So-and-so the high rises, what they need to do for mail-in at home. I call it at home voting. That's the kind of thing that I do already. I am a state committee person. So you have the state committee, you have the Allegheny County committee, and then you have the local Pittsburgh committee.
Okay.
Allegheny County Democrats.
Right.
So there's 3 levels that you're on. I happen to be on the state committee, which is the highest part of that. Mm-hmm. And I plan to run in 2022 for a position on the local in the city. And that's how you start to, and I didn't really think about that until we start doing this.
Do you think that you all have made an impact with the information? And so the people the participants, they're ready, they're geared up, they're fired up, and they're ready to start running for committee, or they have a better understanding as to how this game is played.
Mm-hmm.
You have a better, okay. All right.
Yeah, you heard the testimonies.
Right.
And from the beginning when they started to now, they see the power in what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's given them a lot more confidence to do whatever they want to do to help in their community.
It's time to be a part of the solution and stop claiming to see the problem, knowing that that's really being a part of the problem. So hopefully you'll be able to have the workshops again. I'm all here for it. You know that.
Mm-hmm.
How can folks who are watching this get more information? I know you all have a Facebook page, the Political Leadership Training Program. There's a Facebook page. If someone wanted to reach out to you, how can they do that?
Through the Facebook page.
Okay.
Through the Facebook page, they can catch me.
Okay.
And mostly everybody in Pittsburgh have my number.
Right.
But here's one last thing I want to help you with here.
Okay.
Right now, there's a big discussion going on with the district attorney.
Mm.
There is a process. We can go listen to TV all we want. We can listen to the rhetoric. We can talk about how he's not doing his job. That's one thing. But you need to have solutions when you talk about that. That is where committee people are.
Mm.
That office people are voted in, and there's a process to remove people when they're voted in.
Right.
We can't just say, get out, then we put everybody out. There is a process.
Some people wish it was that easy, but it's not that easy.
Yeah. And if they can do that to one person, they could do it to you.
To everyone.
Right.
And that's why it's so important to be a part of programs like the Political Leadership Training.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we have to look at those kind of things. We have to have somebody that's knowledgeable. When they call a committee meeting, they can sit down, educate their people around these issues, make sure that they're voting. So when the opportunity comes to vote him out, we are galvanized and we have a block of votes to make that happen.
If that's what you want to do, you have the power. That's the thing. People realize, or they don't realize, that they have the power. Their vote is powerful. And so we have to get registered, and we have to go out to vote in every election, in every seat. Every election is important. So Brenda Tate, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure. I was trying to keep my collar up because I learned how to pop my collar like you. And it's just, I was trying to keep it up, and maybe I'm using the wrong starch or something.
Or either get you a handkerchief.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Put your bandana on, rock it. That goes with your white shirt. You know how to do it.
Listen, if you need fashion tips, you go to Brenda Tate. If you need some more information on the Political Leadership Training Program, go to Brenda Tate. And also,
and let me give a shout out to Jackie Hill, the most amazing person in the world. We love her. Ebenezer Baptist Church, my pastor, Vincent K. Campbell, he stepped up and made this program happen. I just thank everybody for the support, and you, my dear.
And we thank you for just listening to that and following through with your spirit. Thank you so much for everything that you do, Miss Brenda.
Thank you, dear. Love you.
Love you back.